Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blasian Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blasian Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen, Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
To me, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Start it up, let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a little bit of different edition of Centex Prime Time. Happy Monday to everybody out there. Hope everybody is doing well here today. A little bit different than how we usually do it because we've got some different scheduling going on. I will be the Dallas Cowboys versus Houston Texans game, Monday Night Football tonight. We'll talk about that game here today, folks. Want to thank everybody for joining in with us here today. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. You can get notified every time that we go live here. You click that bell every time that we go live, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. Also, download the app so you can listen on Infinity Sports Radio. Some of you guys listening on there right now. Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. Download the app, Centex Sports One, on your mobile device. You'll be able to listen to this content weekdays, 5 to 7 p.m. Well, folks, we made it through another great weekend in sports. Going all the way back to last time we were here on the show on Thursday. Philadelphia and the Commanders had a good game out there as well. Philadelphia ended up winning that game. We had some good basketball games as well. LeBron and the Lakers have won 5 in a row. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We had a really good game of a slate of NFL games this past weekend. I mean, when you think about, we'll talk about all of them. The Chiefs and the Bills ended up being another thriller. The Sunday night game with the Bengals and the Chargers ended up being a really, really good game as well. Also, the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Probably the best rivalry we have left in the NFL. And that game lived up to the hype. Came all the way down to the actual last minutes of the game. Lamar Jackson goes on a game-winning drive. Gets down there but can't convert on a 2-point conversion. We'll talk about all of those as well. Also had a good slate of college games this weekend. We saw Georgia come out with a victory over Tennessee in a close battle. Ended up being probably the best game of the weekend as far as college football. Texas came out with the win over one of their old Southwestern Conference rivals in the Arkansas Razorbacks. Good games all around. We had a couple of fights, I guess if you want to call it that. The John Jones fight was definitely a fight. Shout out John Jones, best UFC fighter ever. Got another win. Probably going to be his last, real fight. He said he wants to go in the prize fighting now. And then we also had the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul thing, whatever you call that. We'll talk about that a little bit later as well as we get later on into the show. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today. Joining me, I've got Kyrell Gibson on here with me as well as we get ready to go through some of these topics. Kyrell, what's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on? Good morning.
Yeah, a little bit different, but we're getting to it. So, folks, we got to start with the game of the week as far as the NFL goes, and that was the Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The game lived up to the hype. Pretty much every time these two teams play each other, the games live up to the hype, and this weekend was no different as the Buffalo Bills take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, I thought that should have got the Sunday night game, even though Sunday night game ended up being pretty entertaining. Kansas City comes into Buffalo, takes on the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo comes out with the win in this game, ending the Chiefs' win streak. They were 9-0 on the season, hadn't lost since, I think, November of last year, maybe early December of last year. Haven't lost a game since then, almost a full year, over a year since the last time somebody scored 30 points on the Chiefs. I think it was a game in the beginning of October last year when somebody scored 30 on this Chiefs defense, Steve Spagnuolo. Buffalo Bills come out with the win in this one, 30-21. It's Josh Allen and the Bills, or Josh Allen leads his Bills in a victory over the then undefeated Kansas City Chiefs, now sitting at 9-1, and Buffalo sitting right behind them in the standings at 9-2. It felt like Kansas City had such a huge lead over everybody being undefeated, but now after this one loss, it's just a one-game difference separating these two teams. Josh Allen, who's been an MVP candidate all year long, had another great game, even though he threw a pick in this game. 27 for 40, 262 yards, one throwing touchdown, 12 carries, 55 yards, and a rushing touchdown. And that rushing touchdown ended up being probably the biggest play of the game. A game that if this team ends up getting the number one seed, that replay is going to be played all the time. And that 26-yard run that he had that really just showed off who Josh Allen is. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He's got a cannon arm, but he is a dual-threat quarterback. Now, I've seen already earlier in the day people talking about this game and even last night, and he gets a lot of comparisons to Cam Newton as a runner. I think he's definitely a better thrower of the football than Cam Newton, but I think people forget how big Cam Newton really was, especially when he was running the ball. I think they need to kind of pump the brakes on that. But Josh Allen puts himself right back in the top three of this MVP conversation, especially after beating the Kansas City Chiefs, who hadn't lost in almost a year. Josh Allen was the leading rusher for this team. Khalil Shakur, 8 catches, 70 yards. He's becoming one of the main targets for this Buffalo Bills team. They played without Dalton Kincaid, who's another one of their main targets. Dawson Knox played in this game, but he missed some time in it, got hurt. Amari Cooper, only 2 catches, but both of the catches seemed like they were big-time catches. Both of them were kind of a over the shoulder throws, kind of a long ball, and both of them were catches that they really needed in this game. On the Kansas City Chiefs side, Mahomes, 23 for 33, 196, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Those interceptions are coming back to haunt them as they've been doing all year. They've just been winning, so it's kind of covering it up. 2 picks in this game, though. Kareem Hunt, 14 carries, 60 yards. Leading receiver for the Chiefs was Xavier Worthy, who I had on my bench in fantasy. Hopefully it doesn't end up costing me a game. Xavier Worthy, 4 catches, 61 yards, and a touchdown. Noah Gray with 2 touchdown catches in this one in short yardage. Travis Kelce, only 2 catches, 8 yards. Buffalo Bills were ready for him. D-Hop, 3 catches, 29 yards, no touchdowns in that game. So they did a great job of containing Kansas City's receivers. And they did a great job of scoring on this defense. Like I said, no one scored 30 on this defense in a year. A full calendar year without Kansas City's defense getting 30 scored on them. So it's been a long time since they've allowed 30 points. Josh Allen and the Bills seem to always have Kansas City's number in the regular season. Just the regular season. In the postseason, completely different story. Has yet to beat Mahomes in the postseason. But as of right now, Buffalo Bills sitting right behind him. Shout out to Terrell Bernard, too, former Baylor Bear. He is stepping up to be one of the real leaders of this defense. Had a pick in this game, had a sack in this game, led their team in tackles as well. Shout out to the former Baylor Bear out there. But Buffalo comes out with the win 30-21 in this game. Kyrell, what are your thoughts about Buffalo ending the Chiefs' win streak to start this season?
Yeah, I knew they were going to lose when the beginning of the game they started showing the graphics of how the Chiefs streak has gone over the past year and a half now. So I was like, once they started showing the little graphics and little animations and stuff, oh, undefeated this, oh yeah, it's over with, man. It's over with. But yeah, man, the Bills was at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is about Buffalo, but when they're playing in Buffalo, I feel like they're just a different team, a better team. I don't want to say a different team, but they're a better team at home, which is how it should be. But that's just one of those places that, it's just a really, really tough place to play for people. And they executed, up and like on both sides of the ball. You are playing Mahomes, but, their running game was efficient. Passing game didn't have any heroes, but was efficient. And then Josh Allen, man, made the plays he had to. Didn't light up the scoreboard, but he he uses athleticism and who he is to get the job done. I didn't really consider him to like dominate the game or anything like that, but he definitely made plays when it counted, and he had a good game. Um, on the other side, I'm more concerned about Kansas City. Is this going to be last year's Eagles situation, when they started out on fire, everybody's like, oh, but they're winning, they're barely winning, they're barely winning. And then you got the win is a win crowd, and then next thing you know, they lose 6, 7 straight. So, the Chiefs have used up a lot of that crystal ball magic or whatever they want to call it. They used a lot of it these last 15 games, man. So, I'm very interested into seeing what's the hierarchy of the AFC going to shake down to, because I don't think anybody's been impressed with the Chiefs all year long. Really, and as same goes for the Ravens, like their record is like tier 2, but we think that's a tier 1 football team. So I'm just not very sure. You got Joe Burrow down there, losing record, but got the best numbers out of any quarterback right now. And then you got Pittsburgh. Nope. I don't know what to make of Pittsburgh, man. Like, even I know they won yesterday. That's a good win, but I feel like the Ravens shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. But they're winning games. Look like a different team under Russell Wilson. Najee Harris is on steroids. So they figured it out, man. They figured out how to finesse good old Goodell. So I don't know how it's going to shake out, man. But yeah, man, the Bills are looking like serious contenders now. They're definitely in the hunt for that number 1 seed. They're going to be the Chiefs are definitely going to lose some more games. And now they got that. They got them breathing down their neck. So I'm sure some trips are going to come for them. Unless I have to look at their schedule for sure. But I don't like when teams win a bunch of games by 1 possession or aren't dominating. Especially But you can get too far at the end of the spectrum. That was us last year on the other end of the spectrum, blowing out bad teams. So I don't like that either. So I like a high medium. And
Facts.
right now the Chiefs are to the far on one end, and I'm not gonna say Detroit is because Detroit's beat a couple good teams, but you know what I'm trying to say. But
They
yeah,
stumping teams
uh,
out.
yeah, but they should though. Like I feel like they should. But the Chiefs, Bills, I don't know. I'm very interested to see if it's gonna be a switch in the hierarchy for the rest of the season. Because the Bills look good, man. No hero ball, no reliance on one player really. Everybody just kind of doing their job and not overexerting Josh Allen. And Josh Allen is being clutch, man, because he said, "Hey, man, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm gonna get in this end zone, man." And yeah, whoever said that Cam Newton rushing stuff, yeah. You need to put down whatever you're smoking,
Bro, that was
whatever
Rex
you're popping.
Ryan and them on Get Up this morning. They always saying
Yeah,
that. He runs like Cam Newton. I'm like, hey, bro, y'all got to stop. Get off the
yeah. Them
gas,
teeth,
man.
them teeth done grew up into his brain and rotted. Cause why? What do you mean? You ain't never seen Josh Allen go up the sideline 60 yards, man. Get out of
Never,
here.
never.
Ever. Superman flip into the end zone? Ever. So I don't want to hear that, man.
And that's my only thing with the Josh Allen thing. Like, Josh Allen is a great player. He's in the MVP candidacy conversation. The Bills are good every single year, and it's because of Josh Allen. But I feel like whenever he does good, it immediately starts getting boosted. Like, I don't know what it is about Josh Allen that people love so much, but it starts getting boosted too. They said this morning on the show on Get Up that he's Cam Newton running the football and John Elway throwing the football. I'm like, hey man, what are y'all know who the two people y'all just talked about are? John
Yeah.
Elway throwing the football and Cam Newton running?
Yeah. Next thing you know, they're gonna be saying he had 12 disciples.
like, it's seriously getting out of hand at this point. Like, man, come on. Like, I don't get it with the Josh Allen thing. So after the Bills get this win, 30-21 over the Chiefs, I'm looking at this team now and I'm wondering, is this the type of team that can go all the way in the AFC with the Buffalo Bills? We've seen really good teams, like I just said, year in and year out with Josh Allen on the team. Is this the type of team now that they don't have a true number one receiver? They got Amari Cooper, but he's not a 10 targets a game type of guy like they had with Stephon Diggs. They've got some young running backs in there with Ray Davis and James Cook. The defense is still looking good out there, led by Terrell Bernard. They got rid of a lot of their vets they had in the secondary, and right now it's looking like it's paying off for them. But I'm wondering, should we look at this Bills team differently? So, Kyrell, do we need to change how we're thinking about this Bills team? It's kind of a two-part question. Do we need to change how we look at this Bills team? Like, are they a Super Bowl contender? And then are we still, on the opposite side of that, are we still looking at the Chiefs as the favorites to win the Super Bowl?
Man, yeah, I feel like you gotta know because that would have been last year. But the Bills didn't look as good last year.
They
I mean,
didn't.
So yeah, the Chiefs were down last year too, but the Bills didn't look this good. James Cook hadn't turned into really the back we see today. They didn't have Amari Cooper, Steph. I mean, I know they had Stephon, but that was a sour relationship.
Yeah.
I think Amari Cooper's a great fit for Buffalo because no personality. I don't think people have personality in the snow, so I think that's a great fit. You got guys, they got young guys on the back end of their defense that had another year. They just look better, man. Like, I'm not really too concerned or excited about the pass rush, but they're not duds. They still got Von Miller for third downs. If he, if I haven't really seen him do much, but he's still Von Miller, so I'm
Yeah.
expecting him to get something going. But yeah, the Bills look better. The Chiefs look the same. Like the Chiefs look exactly. I'm gonna say exactly because it's even closer this year, but they're still struggling. They were struggling last year and then went into the playoffs and beat everybody. So it's just like I don't know. The Bills look better. I will say that. So I'm gonna say we have to respect them as a contender. But as far as the hierarchy and the top dog train who that goes to, we can't we can't give that up, man. Like the Chiefs can lose every game, but if they get in them playoffs, they might beat everybody. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna still say the Chiefs are on top just because the postseason is different, and um, yeah, now we gotta say Mahomes is different because 3 Super Bowls. But hey, that's a different animal. So I'm gonna have to say that the Bills deserve to be contenders, but they don't deserve that top spot at all.
Yeah, I think the Bills for sure are contenders. I mean, I can't forget about what I saw on Sunday night when the Ravens just dismantled the Buffalo Bills. I'm not going to forget about that just because we've seen the Bills beat Kansas City, and we saw the Ravens, who should have beat Kansas City, lose because somebody's shoe was too big. So I can't just forget that. I'm in my opinion, they're still not, even with Baltimore's record, like you said earlier. I still look at Baltimore as a tier 1 team. Still look at Baltimore as a team that nobody's going to be able to beat, or it's going to be really, really tough to beat when they get into those playoffs. Maybe the Steelers do beat them if they get in the playoffs. Who knows? The Steelers and Baltimore still got another game, and this game was in Pittsburgh, so we got to give Baltimore a chance to defend their home field as well. But I'm not thinking the Bills. They're scary, but I'm not that scared of them for some reason. I still feel like this team can get beat. And the Chiefs, at the beginning of the year, I said, I don't think they're going to three-peat. And as good as they've been, they're 9-1 on the season. I just don't like what I've seen from their offense. Mahomes is 15 touchdowns and 11 picks. Like, I don't, that's just not good. Last year they won, he was 27 touchdowns and 14 picks. I don't know if he's going to get to that touchdown record, and he's probably going to throw more picks than he threw last year. I don't think you can continue to turn the ball over that much and have that type of success as far as winning a Super Bowl again. So I don't know. Should the Chiefs be the Super Bowl favorite? I guess. Just because, who else are we going to put right there right now? Detroit, maybe. I like Detroit.
Got to put Detroit.
I like Detroit if it's the Kansas City versus Detroit in there because their defense is good. Kansas City's defense is good. Are they good enough to stop them? I don't know. I don't think so either. And then will Kansas City's offense be active enough to be able to go against this Detroit defense? I think Detroit has a very opportunistic defense. I think they're good at turning the ball over. I don't think they're just a great defense, but you throw some stuff out there willy-nilly, they're going to come down with the ball. They got Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch back there at safety. They got Arnold and Carlton Davis at the DBs. And if they get all the way to the Super Bowl, Aiden Hutchinson going to go out there on one leg and play. They already said that as soon as he got hurt, he could be back if they make it to the Super Bowl. So that already lets me know he's going to do some J.J. Watt stuff and go out there with one leg and try to play. Then they still haven't added Zadarius Smith like that. So, yeah, I'll probably put the Lions in that slot as the Super Bowl favorites as of right now. And later in the week, I'll do my NFL top 5 like I always do. And it's going to have to be some shakeups after what we've seen. We've seen Baltimore lose and we've seen Buffalo win against the only undefeated team left in the NFL. So the Chiefs are Super Bowl favorites. As of right now, I'm going to say no, which sounds crazy because they're back-to-back Super Bowl champs. And the Bills, as AFC favorites, even though they just beat the back-to-back Super Bowl champs and gave them their first loss of the year, I still got to say no to that as well. I still like Baltimore and how they look. So Buffalo comes out with a win, stops the Chiefs, finally get their first loss since almost a calendar year since they lost last time. I want to go to one of the other teams in the AFC we just talked about. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Steelers come out with the win in this game. Narrow victory. 18-16 was the score. Pittsburgh at home moves to 8-2 now on the season. Undefeated since they put Russell Wilson in that starting lineup. Take out the MVP favorite right now. The MVP from last year in Lamar Jackson, who has yet to have any real success against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers have done a good job against Lamar his entire career. Lamar Jackson, 16 for 33, 207 yards, a touchdown, and 1 pick, 4 carries for 46 yards. Derrick Henry, 13 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown, also fumbled in that game. Leading receiver for the Ravens, Isaiah Likely, 4 catches, 75 yards in that game. On the Steelers side, Russell Wilson, 23 for 36, no touchdowns and a pick. Najee Harris, 18 carries, 63 yards. Jalen Warren, 9 carries, 41 yards in that one. George Pickens, who has really benefited the most from this Russell Wilson saga, 8 catches, 89 yards, 11 yards per catch in this game. So Pittsburgh Steelers come out with the win in this one. And I know Pittsburgh, they're beating good teams, and they beat the Baltimore Ravens, we all feel like are one of the top teams. I'm just still not sold for some reason on the Steelers. Not when it comes to being an AFC contender. When it comes to being really good, yes. Can they get in there and beat, the Chargers in the playoffs? Yes. Can they get in there and beat the Texans, my Texans, in the playoffs? Yes. Do I see them beating the Chiefs in the playoffs? No. Do I see them beating the Ravens in the playoffs? No. Do I even see them beating the Bills in the playoffs? Maybe. I give them the Bills because they almost beat the Bills last year with Mason Rudolph at quarterback in the playoffs. Could they beat the Bills? Possibly. I think they're one of those teams that have enough to be able to beat any of those teams I just named. I just don't see it happening. In this game, I think this was more of Baltimore, like you said a little bit earlier, Kyrell, shooting themselves in the foot than this was the Ravens it was the Steelers just coming out with a win. Russell Wilson only threw one pick in this game, no touchdown. I think he threw about 4 picks in this game. I watched the game. The Ravens dropped about 4 picks. 2 of them were in the end zone. So, they get those picks, this is a completely different game. And then still, if Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense could have got going, they still lose this game. I saw multiple drop passes from Baltimore yesterday in this game. I don't know what it is about the Steelers. They just cannot get over the hump with the Steelers, and that's their biggest rival, so it's not surprising. But Russell Wilson, I feel like they're kind of just doing enough to win the games. He's making big throws, but we're also seeing some of that Russell that we saw in Denver. They're just not catching as many of the picks. He literally could have thrown like 4 picks in yesterday's game. Nate Wiggins dropped one. I seen, I think it was one of the safeties drop one in the end zone in that fourth quarter. I'm like, man, those are game changers. They hold on to the ball. That's a completely different game changer, and we're coming here having a completely different conversation about Russell Wilson and the Steelers. But as of right now, Steelers 8-2, sitting right there right behind the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills in this AFC pecking order. So after them getting a win yesterday, Kyra, what are your thoughts about this Steelers team after getting a narrow, kind of ugly victory over their rival in the Baltimore Ravens yesterday?
Yeah, I know he don't play for him no more, man, but Juju, gotta be some Juju going on, man. Because they like I said, man, I don't think this team is I don't think they'll beat the Chargers. If I had to pick, I would pick the Chargers, honestly. But I guess they could beat them, but I don't trust them. Like, I really don't. I think that they're playing good, sound, lucky football. But yeah, man, they should have lost yesterday. They barely beat the Commanders. The Commanders are an exciting young team, but that's another team that ain't beat nobody. They beat a bunch of bad teams and lose to the good teams, which is a plus for them, because they've got a winning record because the Commanders. But same time, I do not see Pittsburgh as contenders. They could mess up somebody's day, I guess, if you want to talk in. Do they have a chance, which that could be 1%, but sure, yeah, they got a chance, but is it going to happen? No. Russell Wilson is, he's kind of like opened up this offense a little bit, but he's still not, he's still not like elite or anything. He's still capable of a couple plays because he is Russell Wilson and he was a player at one time, but that now is not that time. He's better than Justin Fields. He could throw a good D ball. He's getting the ball to George Pickens. But he's still out there looking, all right, yeah, you get lucky, man. Like, yeah, mid. That's the word I was looking for. Mid. Because you're right. Dude threw like 3 picks yesterday, and Marlon Humphrey got one of them. So I'm thinking the reasons that like I'm kind of high on the Steelers now is that defense and the fact that Najee Harris is using PEDs. That's
You're going to get this dude investigated, man.
He needs to be investigated. Jalen, we watched him for 5 years, man. 5 years. This dude ain't looked like this since his
contract year. Maybe he got a little pep in the step. His contract year.
Yeah, I know we'll put the pep in the step too. So call LeBron. Something going on, man.
No, for real.
But yeah, man. The Steelers, they're winning games. The defense is, always the defense. It's so funny how like certain players have like teams that are just like kryptonite to them. I ain't gonna say like they lock them up or anything, but Lamar
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh, like, that's just like why. Pittsburgh really hasn't been good since he's come in the league. So maybe like his rookie year, whenever. No, I can't remember when he came. Was it 18 or 16? I can't remember.
He didn't. His rookie year was like 18, 19. I don't think the
Yeah.
Steelers won a playoff game since 2016.
Yeah, so he didn't see that, man. So it's just awkward. Like, why are you struggling with the Pittsburgh Steelers? They ain't been good in a decade, man. So it's just funny, man. But yeah, that team's not doing anything in the playoffs.
200-6895.
Honestly, I would say they need the number one defense if they're gonna perform that way. And I don't really see that out there. Like, I'm seeing teams put up points on them sometimes. They had played a good game, but Justin Tucker missed like 5 kicks. That's what I'm saying, man. They got like there's something going on in Pittsburgh, man. When like they got something going. They not putting up with no decade-long season. They must have dropped the check off at the commissioner, got the fans going because Justin Tucker, man, that's probably the greatest kicker of our generation.
For sure.
And this dude has missed 3 in the first quarter. Are you what? All right.
That's crazy.
So that was 9 points right there. A 2-point conversion. Like you saw Lamar march down the field. All they had to do was hang on to the ball.
Yep.
They kept getting in third and long situations, and like you don't want to do that against T.J. Watt. So it's just like, man, you got to play smart, complimentary football, man. If they would have stayed in short yardage the whole game, they probably win. But they kept getting in 3rd and 11, third and 9. I'm like, dude, yeah, that's like Lamar is great and all, but I like easy third downs. That's like really my litmus test for is a team good. Like, are they converting third downs or are they not? The Steelers don't do that, man. Like, I think they converted like one third down that was longer than like 3rd and 5. But even the ones that was like 3rd and short, like 3rd and 3, these dudes threw a 2-yard out.
Yeah,
like, what are y'all doing, bro? Like, how you even have a route for 2 yards and out? Like, come on, man. And they didn't even get it.
Yeah.
Like, the ball. Like, so I don't think that'd be a good football team. Like, I think the teams that execute well on third down are gonna go deep in the playoffs. And for me, that's the Baltimore Ravens, that's the Buffalo Bills, and Mahomes. We'll see what the Lions do with that 2-headed running back system they got. But I just feel like, man, these dual quarterbacks, man, like, how are you supposed to get them off the field in 4 downs, Like, you got Derrick Henry back there, Lamar's back there. Like, that, to me, that's the best rushing attack, despite what's going on in Detroit. But that's the best rushing attack because you have to account for so much, and I think they're gonna figure it out with those two this playoff run. But the Steelers, man, let me just stand on the Steelers. Sorry, yeah, man. Enjoy the regular season, I guess, if you're a Pittsburgh fan listening to this, because it's a wild card exit for you boys. I'm taking the Chargers. I'm taking whoever else gets in there, man. I don't even know the Texans. I'm taking y'all because y'all should be healthy. Well, you're not getting Stephon back, but Nico should be back.
Be healthier.
Yeah, be healthier. Y'all get some O-lineman back, I believe, right? And, yeah, I'm not taking them, man. Shout out T.J. Watt though, but. Come on, man. Najee Harris got like 2 more games, and then he getting shut down. Tell him. 2 more games. Tell him. Like, does he think like we don't pay attention?
Man, he like that'll suspend long enough. Didn't James? What did James Williams just get in trouble for? Was it gambling or PEDs?
I can't remember, man. The suspension this year?
Yeah, he only got suspended like 2 games. Yeah, he only got to spend in a couple of games. Yeah, he like, man, hey, I'll take that couple games. If I get a new contract, a couple games good for me. So he
need to go ahead and get caught because right now it's looking like he's gonna miss the playoffs. He keep flying on the radar like this. I don't know if he hiding it in his dreads or whatever. Like he cut a dread off when he used. I don't know. I shouldn't say use because it's not like they doing other stuff, man. It's just little call, man, deer sweat.
Yeah, whatever they got all type of them. Might have hung out with Canelo on them. They said they just ate a bad burger or something like that, and must have had that in there. Maybe he's been hanging out with Canelo a little bit, but
yeah, man.
Pittsburgh, like you said, I don't think this team is going to do anything. Like, could they win a wild card game? Yeah. Could they go to the AFC Championship? I wouldn't just be shocked, depending on who their path is. But do I think they're going to do that? No. And for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar, the one question mark I do have is this flaw I see in big games when I don't know why, when games are tight, they stop running the ball. Derrick Henry had 13 carries. Well, I understand y'all trying to preserve dude, but come on, bro. It's the Steelers. This is a rivalry game. You're on the road. Why does he get the ball 13 times? Okay, he fumbled. Cool. I don't care if he fumbled 7 times. It's Derrick Henry. Like, come on, man. But the Steelers, another very close victory for them. They moved to 8-2 on the season, sitting at the top in the AFC right behind the Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. Folks, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple more of these games. Still got to talk about the Sunday night football game. Got to talk about the Thursday night football game as well. Got some NBA talk coming up at hour number 2. And, of course, we got to talk about the Monday night game, Houston versus Dallas. We'll close the show out with that. So stay tuned and stay locked in on Centex Primetime. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans.
We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Are you hungry for the best fried chicken in town? Check out Crispy Chicken #1, 11th and Clay, and their Monday and Tuesday special, the Snack Pack, which includes 2 pieces of chicken, fries, roll, and drink, all for only $6. Also, each Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, you can feed the family for $10 and receive 6 pieces of chicken, fries, and rolls. Crispy Chicken #1 features additional daily specials and also includes mouth-watering short ribs, fried catfish, and chicken fried steak. Locally owned and operated and a Waco tradition since 1975. That's Crispy Chicken #1 at 11th and Clay.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it.
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime. I'm your host, Jalen Gillis. Still here talking about this crazy weekend of NFL games we got to see yesterday, Thursday as well. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching with us. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. Also, download the app on your mobile device, Centex Sports 1, so you can listen to this content weekdays, 5 to 7 p.m. right here on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. So, just got done talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Bills coming up with the win yesterday as well. Still on there joined by Kyle Gibson and talking about these NFL games. I want to go to the Sunday night game that ended up being, I knew this would be a good game just because the way that this Bengals offense has played all year long. But this ended up being a really, really good game that came all the way down to the wire. Came all the way down to the last possession of the football game to who had the ball last. The Chargers, sneaky team, move into 7-3 now on the season. This puts them above Baltimore in the wild card slot. And I knew the Chargers would be a good team this year because, of course, they got Jim Harbaugh, who I'm high on as an NFL coach. I like him more as an NFL coach than I do a college coach. It's rare. We see all type of coaches come in and out of the league. It's rare we see a guy come in and have the type of success he had in a short amount of time when he was in San Fran. When they had Kaepernick and Alex Smith and all those guys. Couple runs at the Super Bowl. Went one year, came all the way down to the wire and lost in the last minutes of the game when they played the Baltimore Ravens. Jim Harbaugh is a really good coach, so I knew this team would be good. Justin Herbert's a good quarterback, so I knew this team would be good. I didn't think they would be 7-3 good this late into the season. Just like, on the other hand, I didn't think the Bengals would be 4-7 bad this late into the season. But the Chargers win this game 34-27. Last minute touchdown by J.K. Dobbins that was run in. These two teams battled it out. These are two quarterbacks that we expect to be part of the future of the league. When we talk about Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert. I'll start with the Chargers first. Herbert, 17 for 36, had to throw the ball a lot. This is kind of unlike how they've played football all year long because he hasn't had to throw the ball a lot. Probably the most passing attempts he's had this season. I'm not sure, but it's probably right up there. 17 for 36, 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Led the team in rushing, 5 carries, 65 yards. J.K. Dobbins, 11 carries, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ladd McConkey. That's still an odd name. Ladd McConkey, 6 catches, 123 yards. Will Dissly, 4 catches, 80 yards, a touchdown. Quentin Johnston, Texas product, came out of TCU. 2 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown in that game. On the other side, Joe Burrow plays another good game, 28 for 50, still way too many passing attempts, but it kind of just got like that at the end of the game because neither team could do something in the fourth quarter. Both offenses were playing great, and then in that last 5 or 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, every team had people dropping passes, so that's why Joe Burrow ended up getting the 50 attempts. 28 for 50, 356 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and another loss. The first quarterback to throw for 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, no picks in back-to-back games, and lose both of those games. Chase Brown, 22 carries, 86 yards in this one. T. Higgins, the reemergence of T. Higgins, 9 catches, 148 yards, a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 7 catches for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Probably should have had about 4 touchdowns. I don't know what happened in this game where him and Burrow were kind of just missing each other, even though they still had 2 touchdowns to each other in this game. Especially in that fourth quarter, that one long ball with about 2 minutes left, I would have ended the game pretty much. And Burrow just threw it just a little bit too far over the head of Jamar Chase. How Jamar Chase ends up open that much, I don't know. He's getting doubled the entire game and was still ending up open like majority of the game. It's actually getting kind of ridiculous at this point to see what he's able to do. 7 catches, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they missed on 5 catches. They missed on about 5 of those. So, their connection is crazy. See how Joe Burrow is playing is crazy. But they just cannot win a game. They cannot buy a win to save their life right now. 4-7 on the season, even with your quarterback playing like this. I've never seen it. Now, I'm sure there's other examples to go back to. I'm just not thinking of right now. I've never seen a quarterback-receiver duo play like this and your team be 3 games under 500. They're 4-7. It's not like they're hovering around 500 and just can't. They're losing. They're going to be losers this season. They're not going to make the playoffs. The Colts are going to have a better record than them. The Indianapolis Colts, with Anthony Richardson, who can't throw an 8-yard out, they're going to have a better record than the Cincinnati Bengals, who have Joe Burrow and the best receiver in the league in Jamar Chase. And they got T. Higgins. Kyle's been talking about T. Higgins and how he's a true number 2 receiver or possibly a number 1 receiver, probably the best receiver duo in the league. And T. Higgins proved him right in this game. 9 catches, 148 and a touchdown. Still wasn't enough to win. On the Chargers side, Chargers are a good team, man. Like I said, I love the addition with Jim Harbaugh. He just knows how to coach football. He knows how to coach football, especially at the NFL level. I think him and Justin Herbert are going to be a great duo as far as a coach-quarterback duo. for some years to come, honestly. Justin Herbert's still young. Still don't know why Miami picked Tua over him, but that's a completely different story. So with them being 7-3, they're gonna have a chance to even challenge Kansas City, depending on how Kansas City looks these last couple of weeks. They finally got a loss. Maybe that's kind of what breaks the floodgates open, like what Kyrell was talking about, like the Eagles did last year. Who knows? Denver Broncos are a decent team as well. They got a pretty good win yesterday over the Falcons, who I've been trying to tell you all year are pretenders. But I'll stay with the Chargers for right now. Chargers 7-3 on the season. Kyrell, what'd you think about this win? Sunday Night Football. Chargers moving to 7-3 on the year.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, John got a chance to do something really.
Jim.
Oh yeah, Jim. It's too many of them, man. Just like one of y'all got to go get a nickname or something. JJ, something else. Yeah. So Jim has a chance to do something really great. I know John won with the Ravens.
Yeah.
But Jim went with the 49ers, got the championship at Big Blue, and then now he's taking this team. And the thing I love about Jim Harbaugh's football teams is they don't make things like super complicated. They run the ball. They do the things that work.
Yeah. So
they run the ball. They do it efficiently. Justin Herbert looks like he's not really struggling anymore. And I feel like he's a quarterback friendly coach, So everything about their offense is like quarterback friendly. Even though you got a lot of talent, under your center. Justin Herbert is full of talent. But, like, why make things difficult for him? And I feel like that's how they got to this record. Like, whenever you cut on a game and seen like Chargers highlights, they just been winning games in the most boring fashion. J.K. Dobbins has been right. It's Dobbins, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yep.
Yeah. J.K. Dobbins I still don't understand how the Ravens didn't. I mean, I know he was always hurt, but gosh, I really feel like he would have been like good over there. I know they got Derrick Henry now, so they're happy. But J.K. Dobbins, man, is a player.
Yeah.
And Harbaugh's using them. They have talent on defense, and I think they're pretty much turning into a pretty solid group. And they just play complementary football, man. Like nothing's complicated, nothing's extraneous about this team. They just go out there, all right, 3 yards on first down, run it again. Okay, we got first down. All right, play action. It's just nice complementary football. It's kind of, and I think that's what's going to take this team to the second round, because I don't think as long as they don't have to play like the Bills. I like the Chargers, man. Like I like teams like this. They just don't really do much. They don't do anything particularly well, but they just do everything at a nice, brisk pace. Like you're going for a walk in the park, man. So I like this team. I like Jim. I'm halfway rooting for him because, like winning a natty in the college football and then turn around this Chargers franchise, that's Hall of Fame worthy. He probably already is Hall of Fame worthy, but that's like now you starting to get in the rooms. You win a natty in the college level and in the Super Bowl. Like, come on, man. And then the name itself is going to help too. But yeah, man, it's funny. I was thinking the other day, man, like when Justin Herbert came out, and I forget who else was in that list, but we kind of like anointed these guys. Yeah, not Tua. So
you talking about the draft? I mean, just in his class, or
not in
just
the class,
young quarterbacks,
that era, just young quarterbacks.
Yeah,
like there was just certain guys that we just kind of anointed as like, no, he's a top 5 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Herbert was one of those guys. He got thrown in a lot of those conversations really young.
Yeah,
and he kind of backtracked these last 2 years until. And I don't even think he's just gotten a whole lot better this year. He's just playing smart football, better football. He's not lighting nothing up. And, it just kind of reminds me like, well, no, like we threw Dak in there over him. We threw a lot of guys in there over him. Mm-hmm. And it was valid because, Dak was having great years.
Yeah.
And Justin wasn't. But the talent is still, talent-wise, Justin Herbert's still up there, man. Still up there. Joe Burrow, who else? Allen. Like these might be your 5, man. Like Justin Herbert might round out that 5. Lamar, Patrick, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. Like those are the 5 most talented quarterbacks that I don't think I'm I mean, you got C.J. Stroud down there, too. That would be my guy.
Herbert's more talented than him, though. If we talking about talent, Herbert's got. I mean,
Just like arm strength.
he's
and
6'6"
the
with a cannon
size.
arm. Like, yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So it's just like those. Here we are, 3 years later, and it's like, okay, well that five's back because that was a five like 3 years ago. I feel
yeah,
like, and then it kind of got shaken up a little bit. Guys started playing bad, but this is the original five for like this era. I feel like because all those guys got anointed early, and not some earned it, some didn't, but we just going off talent. And hey, it's just nice to see Jim Harbaugh like kind of get that guy's career back on track because that would have been some wasted talent over there in L.A.
yeah. No, I agree. He's a super talented quarterback, and I think to your point about him being young, I think that's kind of what got him. I think he was young and asked to do a lot, and because he was young and so talented, people wanted him to be Mahomes. People wanted him to be Peyton Manning. And I think a better comp for him is somebody like, and I've always thought this, somebody like Carson Palmer. Super talented, really good quarterback, just not in the greatest situation. And when Carson Palmer got on a good team finally in his career, even though it was late in his career with the Cardinals, they went to the NFC Championship. I think of him kind of like that ilk. Carson Palmer was a stud coming out of USC, 6'5", big quarterback, big arm quarterback. And I see Justin Herbert kind of like that, which is not a bad thing comparison. Carson Palmer was a dude in the league. He was on the Bengals.
Nice.
Yeah, Carson Palmer was nice. He was just on the Bengals. Like, I mean, it wasn't nothing they could do. It was just him and Ocho Cinco, and outside of that, you can't even name 4 other players off any of them Bengals teams for a decade. So I think he's more of kind of somebody in that ilk, and I think he's just getting a better situation now. He's going to have a good coach and an opportunity to really do something moving forward in his career. But as far as talent-wise, man, it's not 5 guys in the league better than him as far as the talent. Justin Herbert, he's that guy as far as that. I mean, he's, like I said, 6'6", can make all the throws. I think he was just asked to do too much. And they had a terrible coach. Like, they had Brandon Staley going for it on like 4th and 9 on their own 30. Like, crazy stuff like that. He was handicapped by a crazy, erratic coach. Now he's got Jim in there, and I'm just like you. If Jim finds a way to have success, even if they just get to a Super Bowl, I think he's got to be in the Hall of Fame, man. I mean, you win a natty at Michigan. I don't know when the last time Michigan won a natty. You win a natty at Michigan. You turn around that 49ers franchise who was really sorry my whole childhood. I mean, the 49ers.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, they were terrible my whole childhood. Like, the 49ers were an afterthought. I never thought about the 49ers for anything. Them and Seattle. And in that era, they both kind of got good at the same time. And if it wasn't for Seattle having one of the best teams we've seen in probably the last 2 or 3 decades, Jim Harbaugh might have had a couple rings, might have had a couple Super Bowl appearances. They just weren't better than the Legion of Boom, who turns out is one of the best defenses ever. So it just that's the only reason. But if he does that and has success with these Chargers as well, I think this Chargers team can be really good. And like you said, they can beat. If they don't play the Ravens, they don't play the Chiefs. And I'll throw the Bills in there too, because I think the Bills just have a little more experience than them. Man, they can beat whoever they see in that AFC. And I think they're going to be one of the top teams in this AFC when it's all said and done, which is crazy because we definitely didn't think that, at least I didn't, coming into this season, that the Chargers would be this good.
That was really good.
What'd you say?
That Carson Palmer comp was really good, man.
Yeah.
That was really good. Because even if you look at like the layout of the AFC when Carson Palmer was on, he was probably like the fifth or fourth guy in his conference,
Yeah.
Like, but that's, you got the Super Bowl winning quarterback that can't stop winning, and then you got the quarterback that a lot of people consider to be a better player. A lot of people did consider Peyton to be better than Tom, but Tom was just a winner.
For sure.
And then now you got Big Ben and Phillip Rivers, and Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, guys that are putting up numbers. Then you got Carson Palmer,
Yep.
And that's what Justin Herbert is. Extremely talented, but just not though. He's dealing with those guys. Man, shout out Carson Palmer, man.
Oh yeah.
You feel bad that you had to deal with Brady and Peyton and Roethlisberger, and yeah, man, that was a good comp.
The good old days of football, what I think of it, man. That 2000 football, I mean, that's the era I grew up in, falling in love with football. So obviously I think that's the best era. But, man,
Hold up, man.
Go ahead.
Hold up, Jalen. I gotta go. When we talk about, man, we used to watch guys play quarterback, man. We're not talking about Joe Flacco
Nah.
in the era of Ben Roethlisberger. Somebody tried to make that point online the other day, like, oh, these the guys y'all talking. No, man. You literally could not play a game in the AFC. Like there was literally legit six or seven quarterbacks that could have been. I think the AFC probably had like the best first six, seven quarterbacks you've taken. Honestly. I
Yeah.
mean, it depends on I can't remember who was good in the NFC at the time, but like our options like Mike Vick, McNabb, and Brett Favre, and like who else? I guess Drew Brees, if you want to throw in there.
He wasn't even in the NFC yet.
Yeah,
to the end of that run.
Yeah, so that was like 09. Like
Yeah.
like that was later. Like the AFC was stacked, man, and these dudes was putting up numbers, throwing the ball 25 times a game. Putting up numbers. Like, it was crazy. But, yeah, man, go ahead, man.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't know why they wanted to bring up Flacco because we can bring up other guys in that AFC that was dudes, too. You already first of all, if you have two of the best quarterbacks to ever touch a football playing in their prime at the same time with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, who, like you said, Peyton Manning was a better player than Tom. I think Tom became a better player as years went out. That's what comes with playing 20 years. I think he became – but in that 2000s, man, it's the sheriff all day long, best player in the league. Dude was his own offensive coordinator. They didn't have an OC. This man is calling 60 plays a game and delivering, doing that. Then he did it as an old man in Denver. If it wasn't for the Legion of Boom, that could have been the greatest season we've ever seen from a quarterback, what Peyton Manning did. 55 touchdowns. Ain't nobody touched it yet. 55 touchdowns. 13-3 record. After he just broke his neck. Dude broke his neck, came back through 55 touchdowns to, honestly, a bunch of standard receivers. Demaryius Thomas was good, I guess, but he wasn't elite. Eric Decker had double-digit touchdowns. Julius Thomas never even played in the league anymore after that.
That dude went to the Super Bowl with Tebow's receivers, man.
Tebow's receivers. And he broke the record. He broke every record. He broke the record for passing yards. Dude threw 55 touchdowns at 30-something. Come on, man, it's the sheriff. Then we talking about Tom Brady was playing in that same era. They don't even want to they bringing up Joe Flacco. What about Steve McNair? McNair went to a Super Bowl. They won off a last second. They won off something in the last second. Shout out Byron Leftwich in Jacksonville. They went to the AFC Championship with Fred Taylor in Jacksonville. Like, come on, man. Don't bring up the random guys and then say, you talking about Joe Flacco? No, we talking about Phillip Rivers and them. We talking about all them boys. The AFC was crazy. Yeah. We talking about Rich Gannon in that early 2000s that should have went to a Super Bowl with Charles Woodson and that when they the Tuck rule or whatever that happened that started Tom Brady's winning career right there. So come on, man, don't do that. The NFL had dudes back then at every position, receivers, running. We definitely don't want to talk about running backs. No running back playing right now outside of Derrick Henry is going to be an afterthought. At Derrick and Saquon, no one's going to think about them in 10 years.
Like, they're going to remember AP, though.
Yeah. Come on, man. They're going to remember AP. You're going to remember Jamal Charles. You're going to remember Jerome Bettis. Like, come on, like Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis would be a top 3 running back right now in the league. Like he seemed like a regular guy back then. We're talking about Priest Holmes, Clinton Portis. Like, don't get me started, man. 2000s era, best era of football. I'm gonna argue with whoever about that. 2000s
one more
football.
Thing about the sheriff, though.
Go ahead.
We move on. One more thing. Y'all need to understand, man. This dude broke the record for touchdowns like in 04 with 48.
Yep.
Right. Just to explain these dudes' rivalry. Broke the record for touchdowns with 48 in 04. 3 years later, Tom breaks it with 50 ball. We thought that was unheard of. We thought that was like, oh yeah, Tom got it. Like we thought he got, okay, this was the tussle for the number one spot. 48, 3 years later, then 50, and then to have Peyton Manning come back with no neck, not able to unhitch no wagon, throw 55 touchdowns, 55, bro. Come on, man. When y'all looking at Arch out there,
Yeah.
Understand that he had no choice but to be great. That man
No
had
choice.
even Eli Manning, like, man, come on. That dude's lineage
Yeah.
from his uncle alone would have been enough. But hey, the sheriff, man, shout out 18.
No, for sure. For sure. You got to shout out, man. It's crazy to see how recency bias has gone and changed people's perspectives on these top quarterback lists. Like, bro, you couldn't convince me that Tom Brady was better than Peyton Manning in the 2000s. Like, that was laughable. Just because he was beating them. Man, their defense was ridiculous. Like their defense was giving up 15 points a game. Like, what are you talking about?
You remember Madden 06, man, with the QB vision?
Yes.
Bro, Peyton Manning was the
whole
entire
screen.
field.
The whole screen was yellow from the QB vision.
The whole screen. You couldn't do that, man. Ben Roethlisberger had a small pizza.
Like nothing. He had nothing. It was going to be running back HB Blunt dive with Jerome Bettis if he was playing with the Steelers. That's how he was going to get out of there. So yeah, man. Shout out to Sheriff. Shout out 2000 football, man. Like I said, best era football. Y'all can argue whoever y'all want to argue with about that. We got to go to a quick break, touch the top of the hour. When we come back, we got to talk a little bit of NBA, talk about what's going on in the league. Definitely got to get back and talk about some more of these games. Still got to talk about the Lions blowing people out. Philly starting to emerge as a real contender in that NFC, and a couple of these games going on in the NFL as well. Stay tuned and stay locked in on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this break.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right.
On 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse. Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-42.
Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
To me, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Start it up. Let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime, hour number 2 here on this wonderful Monday. Hope everybody's having a good day here today. As always, make sure you guys go over to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV. Go on there, hit that subscribe button, click the bell so you can get notified when we go live here 5 to 7 p.m. weekdays. Also, download the app, Centex Sports 1, on your mobile device so you can listen to this, catch all the action from wherever you're at work, at home, your way to work. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Got to give a shout out to my pops, man. Happy birthday. His birthday was yesterday. Celebrated his birthday and his wedding anniversary. So make sure y'all hear him all the time on the radio, on here, on La Vega football, MCC basketball. Make sure you guys go over there, give him a happy birthday shout out as well. Here in hour number 2, still joined by Kyrell Gibson, and just got done talking about the Chargers and their win, and started talking about some 2000s football as well, some nostalgic memories there with football. And I've been a historian pretty much with football since I've started liking football. I've always respected the old school, and I say 2000's the best era of football. And think about receiver. We ain't even got to talk about receivers. I mean, because I think that's an obvious given. You got Randy Moss and T.O. and all them playing at the same time. But during the pandemic, everybody was trapped in the house, and there was no sports. So y'all can even ask my wife this. I just watched old football and basketball games for 6 months. I didn't want to watch any regular TV. I'm not a big show person. I watched my couple shows, and I got in and got out of there. Outside of that, just film junkie. Just hardcore, old school film from the 70s on up in football and in basketball. And one dude I've always respected, but I got a completely different respect for in the pandemic while we were talking about old quarterback Kyrell. It's John Elway, man. This dude, John Elway, could throw a football through a brick wall.
Dude, I knew you was going to say that. I knew you were going to say John Elway.
Like, bro, it was ridiculous. I'm like, man, I knew dude was nice, but this is crazy. Like, why don't they talk about this dude enough? Growing up, it's always Joe Montana. And these guys, even Dan Marino. And Dan Marino was a great quarterback too. But I'm watching John Elway. I'm like, hey, yo, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. I see why dude went to a couple Super Bowls. I see why he won even though he was older with Shannon Sharp and Terrell Davis and stuff out there, man. He was different. John Elway is super different. So I just had to bring that up while we was bringing up old quarterbacks and stuff, man. I did a lot of study in the film and basketball, and that's when I completed my LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan argument in that pandemic, because I got to watch a lot of old school basketball, a lot of old games, a lot of Pharisees got disproved about the physicality, and Michael Jordan had to get punched in the eye every time he went to the cup. Like, hey man, stop that, bro. No, he didn't. He out there playing against science teachers some of them games. But I ain't gonna get all into that, man. But y'all went too crazy with that physicality stuff. And man, the 90s, somebody just punch you in the neck. It's like, man, okay, Oak will, Anthony Mason will, the Pistons will. What about
that's a foul?
Yeah, and it's still a foul. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and he'd have punched him in the neck. So LeBron wouldn't have been able to do that. He twice the size of Michael Jordan. What are we talking about? Like, okay, whatever. What about Craig Elo? Y'all always want to bring up all these other dudes that was hitting Joe Dumars. Oh man, they punched him in the face. What about Craig Elo? What about Jeff Hornacek? Y'all don't talk about those guys. What about Rex Chapman? Y'all don't want to talk about the people fouling people. What about them dudes that was out there? Danny Ainge out there trying to guard Mike. Danny Ainge looked like the supervisor at Topgolf. And he out there trying to guard Mike. What do y'all think about, bro? Of course he's getting 50. What you think was going to happen? Of course he's going to go out there and get 50. But, like I said, we're going to have plenty of time as the season goes throughout, and especially in the summertime when sports goes away, for us to really dive into these LeBron versus Mike arguments. But we still got stuff to talk about here today. I want to go into a couple quick takes, folks, before we start talking a little bit of NBA. Obviously, some people just seen the news of Daniel Jones is going to be benched for the remainder of this season, I think. Tommy DeVito is going to be back in there. And not only because the Giants are terrible and they haven't done anything with Daniel Jones in there, but they knew they were going to be terrible with Daniel Jones as quarterback. They're 2-8 in contention for that number 1 pick, and they're trying to solidify that Shedeur Sanders is going to be a New York Giant. Also, I think Daniel Jones' contract next year is only guaranteed if he gets hurt. So they're gonna have this dude walking around in bubble wrap, so he does not get hurt, and he's not gonna play any more games. Because no way do they want that contract to be guaranteed going into next year. Kyra, any thoughts about Daniel Jones not being benched for the rest of the year?
Hey man, I don't know, man. He might have to go find his Lord and Savior, start trying to delivering the gospel or something, man. Because your football career is done. All right, because they told you don't want you. Your eyes too close together. You can't play quarterback. We don't want nothing to do with you. And they are right in making that decision. You know what, man? I felt bad for Daniel Jones for a long time, bro, because the fans are hard on him, man, and everything. But has anybody else gotten more chances than this dude? Like, I'm gonna just say it. And, you don't get mad, but I'm gonna say it, man. If Daniel Jones was black, man, he would have been out the league 2 years ago.
Oh man, that's for sure.
Like, the least he's had as a. Not even like this isn't no number one pick that they just he looked so good in college. No, this dude was at what, Duke?
Duke.
Yeah, he was at Duke. He was a project, always a project pick, and he was never just like this. There was never any talent for us to be like, oh yeah, he wasn't like Sam Darnold or something like that, or I don't know, or who else, man? Kyler Murray being a bust. No, this was a guy that ended up being exactly what he probably should have been.
Even Jamarcus Russell. I understand them taking Russell. Dude was throwing 80 yards on his knees. So
yeah,
I get
no
that.
Talent's here. No talent is here, man. And this guy has gotten what, 5 years, 6,
and a contract.
They chose him over Saquon Barkley. They chose this dude over Saquon Barkley. Why does he keep getting chances? The Giants do not deserve Shedeur Sanders. They don't.
They really don't.
I hope and pray that they don't get whatever pick I hope they're not able to pick him, because they don't. Y'all gave this dude so many chances when they had Tyrod Taylor for a little bit, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, could have played him. I think is a better quarterback than Daniel Jones in the long run of things. But I've never seen a guy have a mediocre year get a contract off of 1 year, one mediocre year.
15 touchdowns, 5 picks.
Just because he was young when he did it, and he got $100 million. Dude, the privilege is alive and well. I'm telling you, there is no way this dude should still be in the league. And then you get benched for a Tommy DeVito. Who? That sounds like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Who is that dude? Like, I thought, man, look, they're making the right decision. I hope they don't get Shedeur, but I want more people to talk about how has Daniel Jones stayed a starting quarterback for this long?
Since 2019.
He has not been good once.
Nope.
He won some games 1 year. But 15 touchdowns is the litmus for $100 million. That's what we need to do for $100 million, bro. Please. I want this man. I'm not gonna say all that, man. But look, this is privilege to the first. Like, Daniel Jones shouldn't have played 2 years in the league. He couldn't hold on to. He couldn't stop fumbling.
Yeah.
Like, dude was having like 2 fumbles a game for like 3 weeks straight. Like, it was crazy, and they just kept giving this man a chance. Why? He's done nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. This is not even Jameis. Like, Jameis is
definitely not Jameis.
Jameis can't get a job. Jameis couldn't get a job. And Daniel Jones is out here just, we rolling. Oh, man, Saquon or Daniel Jones. Oh, man, I don't know. That's a tough one. Saquon is a running back, I don't know, but this guy's not good, but he is a quarterback, though, Like, he does play the position. But, bro, get out of here, man. Shout out Daniel Jones, man. Thanks for boosting Dak's record versus the Giants. I don't think he beat him. I don't think y'all beat us once.
Never.
In your Daniel Jones era, not once. I think the last time y'all beat us was like that Eli Manning and last year of Odell. That was it. But yeah, man. They're making the right decision, I guess. Yeah, go get y'all a quarterback. I hope it's not Shedeur, even though he probably liked to be in New York. But please trust me, dude. You don't want to be over there. They deserve Carson back. That's who they deserve. Or Quinn, because Quinn is looking like he don't know how to play football no more. So yeah, that's who they deserve. Quinn or Carson, not Shedeur, Not the Rolly, man. Let's put all that to bed. I don't know if it's a Rolly or AP, whichever one. I don't care. But yeah, man, Daniel Jones. I don't even want to talk about this no more. You can
Yeah,
go ahead and say your piece.
he's terrible, man. I mean, it is what it is. We all agree that Daniel Jones is terrible. Literally the first guy I've ever seen in any sport get drafted just because he looks like a Manning. He just looked like he related to Peyton Manning a little bit. So man, you see this dude, the head to neck ratio pause. He just like they're like, man, we got to pick this dude. He looked like a Manning, and got drafted top 10 just because he looks like Peyton Manning. Dude is trash, man. I mean, there ain't nothing else to say about it. The dude is garbage. He somehow got $100 million. The Giants picked him over Saquon Barkley, and that's why the Giants are the Giants. They fumbled two of the greatest talents I've seen in the last decade, Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley. Two of the greatest talents I've seen in the last decade. And they fumbled both of them and somehow got stuck with Daniel Jones. And now they're benching him for Tommy DeVito, whose nickname is the Italian Stallion. Pause. Like, I don't know how you got to be terrible. You get benched for Tommy DeVito. I understand why they did it. They're trying to get that Shador. They want to play the perfect timing in the stadium. But we all know what they're going to do. They're going to draft Carson Beck. This is what the Giants do. It don't matter who's sitting out there. They're going to go and find a guy that should be good, but he's not going to be good, and that's going to be Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers, and they're going to draft one of them too. So shout out Daniel Jones. At least he got paid. He's going to have a lot of money to start up his new tech firm when he's done playing football, because I think he probably just played his last down in the league. He got plenty of money to start up his new tech firm. One more quick take before we go to the NBA. Two fights this weekend. John Jones, I've always said, best UFC fighter of all time. One of the best fighters just for any sport of all time. Probably could have been successful at anything athletic and physical. His brother was one of the best DNs we've seen of this generation, and Chandler Jones, before his egg got scrambled, and started going crazy and going live around campfires and stuff. John Jones, super freak athlete, gets another win in the UFC. Now I said he's going to go into prize fighting. The other fight we saw this weekend, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. I've seen a lot of people, shocked, like, man, I can't believe Mike Tyson. Hey, bro, dude is 60 years old. He's 60. Can we just be happy that Mike Tyson got into the ring and we got to see him go out there? It's not like Jake Paul did anything special. He just stayed away from him. He ran away from a 60-year-old dude. Is that shocking that he was able to do that? Mike Tyson just almost died 2 months ago. He had like 20 blood transfusions. Is it shocking that he was able to run around the ring? Did I want Jake Paul to win? No. But for the people that are surprised that he won, or whatever you want to call that, because it ain't even a real fight. He's fighting a 60-year-old man, and he's 27. What you think was going to happen? Could Mike have knocked him out the whole time leading up to the fight? I said if Mike don't knock him out in the first couple rounds, he ain't going to win because he's going to be tired. He's 60 years old, chronic drug use for 40-something years, and then he just almost had a heart transplant a couple months ago. What y'all expect from dude? For him to come out there and look like LeBron? He's running around the ring the whole time, be super fast? He still couldn't hit Mike, which shows that Mike is still Mike as far as his head movement, and that Jake Paul is still garbage, and I think they should make, for this victory, they should make Jake Paul fight Deontay Wilder, since he wants to fight people that's on their way out. Deontay Wilder finna retire or just retired. Fight him. See how that goes for you. You're going to get your life changed. You keep saying you want to fight Canelo. Man, come on. Canelo don't do all this acting, Netflix stuff. Let's do a show. Hey, Canelo not doing none of that. Canelo going to put you in a coma, bro. You need to stop talking about Canelo. That's not somebody you want to look at in any type of fight. Kyra, what were your thoughts about this Netflix live streaming thing, even though no one could get service and no one could get their stuff streamed? I know they were panicking at Netflix. Hopefully they get it together before this Texans versus Ravens game that they streaming on Christmas. But what do you think about the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing? I don't even know if I want to call that a fight.
Man, yeah, they were extremely smart by putting it on Netflix, because if it was pay-per-view, I wouldn't watch it.
Oh man,
I watched it because it was just, I literally looked at Netflix and I was like, oh okay, bet, but
Exactly.
I wasn't gonna watch that. I knew what was gonna happen. I saw like a day or so before the fight, man. Little girl interviewing Mike. He out there talking like he banging. yeah, we're all just piles of dust on this sphere, and nothing really matters. And I'm like, yeah, man, he finna take a dive, man. Like I already know what's going on. And you know what, man? I turned on the fight. What was Mike doing, man? Standing there right in the middle of the ring, not moving. Just standing there.
Sitting there.
Jake walking away. He not even chasing him. I was like, oh yeah, I already know what's happening. It's I don't respect that stuff. It's good for
No.
them. Good for the Paul brothers. I don't know, man. Like what we supposed to say? I do give him props, man, because I don't care what you say. Like I'm not getting out there with Mike.
No, yeah, for
You know,
sure. For sure.
I mean, I know it was 20 million. I probably would have did it for 20 million, but it better be guaranteed. All right. I take brain damage very serious. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying to I'm not trying to do nothing that could shorten my lifespan or my mental span. So I do give him props for that, man. But that's a dive. That's a dive. I seen the regulations for the fight or the rules for the fight. Dude couldn't knock him out in the first round. Like it was. I don't know how we keep falling for this stuff. That's why I say it was smart to put it on Netflix, because I don't think nobody was gonna buy this.
Nah.
We already got Netflix. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But Jake Paul, I can't even remember which Paul fought the Mayweather. I thought it was him, but I guess it was
Logan.
Logan.
That was the other one.
Yeah, we gotta stop this stuff, man. Like,
It's
who is
ruining
he
the
doing?
sport.
Fight KSI. He boxed. That's another YouTuber. That's who I want to see you fight. Somebody that's not gonna die. I don't want to see you fight all these retired athletes, man. Fight another YouTuber. Fight KSI.
Nah.
Fight Mr. Beast. I want to see that. Yeah. See, I know they're not gonna die. Take no dive, man. I want to see y'all fight somebody on y'all level. Y'all not impressing me whooping up on 58-year-old Mike, especially when I know he finna dive. You should have heard him, man. Dude sound like Bane.
Yeah, I heard the
Sound like-
interview. It was pretty hilarious. Just his whole leading up to that, I was like, yeah, Mike is just getting old, man. Like I said, chronic drug use for 40-something years. And we talking about good drugs. This dude had $200 million. He taking the best of the best. You do that for 40-something years, you're already 60. You almost just had a heart transfusion. Like, come on, man. What y'all expect out of this fight? And Jake Paul, I understand you getting your bag. I ain't hating on that part. You're gonna get your bag. But when you start trying to compare yourself to actual boxers, like just fight an actual boxer, bro. Don't fight Canelo, because Canelo shouldn't even give you the time of day. But you keep wanting to fight retired people. I'm telling you, Deontay Wilder just retired. Fight, bro. See how that goes. Y'all both heavyweight. Y'all in the same weight class. Fight him. See how your life gets changed when you fight an actual boxer.
Jalen, why does he look like he got a fat suit on, bro?
Who?
Jake Paul.
Yeah,
Like, what is that?
I don't know.
It's like his belly like silicone or something, man.
Man, he
Like,
probably got a
that makes sense.
BBL or something, man. These dudes is weird. Ain't no telling. He might have got them fake ab things that Drake went and got. Ain't no telling what these guys is into. But
Yeah.
I guess shout out Jake Paul for getting the bag at least. Shout out Mike Tyson, because you went and got a bag to just run around and get thumped a couple times by Jake Paul, and they probably had to give you 20-something mil for it. Hey, that's a good over retirement plan right there.
That's a good deal. No, I'm not mad at Mike.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
a good deal. Jake Paul I want him to fight these YouTubers. I don't even want him to fight Deontay Wilder. Fight a YouTuber, somebody I know is gonna fight you back. Somebody I know don't need no money. I know Mike probably needs some money, man. Like, I don't know, but
He
hey,
could use 20 mil.
yeah, he can use 20. Everybody can use 20 mil, most people. But yeah, fight one of these YouTubers that's yoked up or something, man. I want to see that. Somebody's gonna punch you for real, and that don't like you, for one.
Nah, for
Not
real.
this. Not Mike, man. This dude was kissing the reporter and turning around and ain't got no drawers on, man. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, come on. Feel like a South Park episode was going on, man. Like, come on. I know you saw that, bro.
I did. That was pretty wild. Like, I was like, but who gonna say something to Mike? Who gonna tell her, hey, Mike, you ain't got no pants on? Or what? What if you gonna hear an answer you don't want to hear? I never wear pants.
He kissed the dude, Jalen.
Yeah,
He
hey.
turned around here. He got chapless pants.
Man, we all seen that video of him hugging on that dude he thought was a little kid, but it's just a grown man that's a midget, man.
Yeah,
Mike a crazy guy.
He said, I didn't know he was a grown man, man. That's horrible. What a horrible experience. I'm sorry to his bullet, man.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Mike, bro. What ain't nobody gonna do nothing. You just gotta whatever happens, what happened. Same with that response to the little girl. They was like, oh man, what? That's a bad response to get to the little girl. Hey man, that girl got a dad. What was he gonna do?
He started blowing raspberries on that man's cheekbone. That's a grown man. He's 30.
Hey, man, shout
He's
out, Mike,
30.
man. Getting your retirement plan. Went and got your bread out there. I respect it. Do your thing, Mike. And Jake Paul, like you said, maybe fight a YouTuber. Rest in peace, the greatest YouTube fighter of all time, Kimbo Slice. You lucky that boy ain't still walking around because he'd have ended you. You want to do all these YouTube fights. Kimbo would have ended you. He wouldn't even been in no
He would
ring.
have took that dive, man. Kimbo would have took that money.
Man, hey, Kimbo about his respect, man. This is a dude that was fighting for $40. Real bare knuckle boxing. Kimbo about his respect. That money cool and all that, but he was gonna want to beat Jake Paul. Rest in peace, the greatest YouTube fighter of all time, Kimbo Slice.
Rest in peace.
So that was our quick takes, folks. I got to get to some NBA talk here. NBA season now about 15, 16 games into the season. Getting a chance to look at some of these teams now. Start with the Los Angeles Lakers, man. A 5-game winning streak. This team is honestly just looking better. It's crazy because it's the same roster. They didn't get no pieces outside of Darvin Connect, which is going to be a big piece for them. It's the same roster. We're just really starting to figure out, man, Darvin Ham was just bad. Why did y'all hire him? I didn't know why they hired dude in the first place. For all y'all people that keep saying, man, LeBron running the organization. Why in the world would LeBron ever hire Darvin Ham? Like, y'all just be saying stuff. Why would LeBron hire Frank Vogel? Y'all always want to blame stuff on LeBron. Them don't even make sense. Them was two coaching picks that didn't make sense. Frank Vogel a little bit, I guess, because you had success in Indiana. And people like, man, Frank Vogel won a championship. Bro, who was going to beat the Lakers in 2020? Wasn't nobody finna beat them. Wasn't nobody going to beat them in 21 if AD didn't get hurt. The Suns went to the finals in 21. They were up 2-1 on the Suns, and then AD got hurt. Like, they was going to win back-to-back. So that ain't had nothing to do with Frank Vogel. But now that J.J. Redick is in there, that Memphis game for me, they're on a 5-game winning streak, and, yeah, they kind of beat some bad teams in there. But it's really just the way that they looked. They didn't play anybody super good. But when they won that Memphis game, it's the way that they won the Memphis game. Last 4 minutes of it, it wasn't just random basketball. They literally just ran plays. They ran actions that y'all kept saying that, oh, man, that J.J. Redick just wants to show how smart he is on this podcast with LeBron. Maybe he just knows basketball. I don't know. Maybe he just knows stuff that works in basketball. Simple plays. They ran the same play for 4 minutes straight, different variations of the same play, and it worked the entire time. They closed the game out. They got open threes from Anthony Davis. LeBron was we talking about last 2 minutes of the game. LeBron is getting wide open dunks off of these actions that they're running. Love the way that J.J. Redick is coaching this team, man, and I'm glad that he's shutting up all the haters. Like Stephen A. Smith, and like I always say, shout out Stephen A. He one of the GOATs in what I'm doing right now in this media space. But he been hating on J.J. Redick since he got that show with LeBron from being on First Take. He left First Take to go be on the show with LeBron. And I don't think Stephen A. like that. I think he's a guy, oh, man, you're going to leave and go start your own and do a podcast thing. And he's always hated on LeBron because LeBron's never been one of the guys to go talk to him. LeBron's like, hey, I'll just make my own narrative. And Stephen A's never like that because he's a reporter, which I don't get. But, hey, it is what it is. People hated on J.J. Redick. Dude is a good coach. Lakers sitting at 9-4 right now, 5-game winning streak. Kyrie, what you think about the Lakers so far in this season? Early in the season, top 5 seed in the West, 5-game winning streak right now.
Yeah. Let me get this off first, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stephen A. is a clown. Like, you ain't, wait, man. We don't like you, man. Like, all right? Like, we still mad about Max. Okay, we happy.
No, for real. He did Max so dirty.
Mad about Max.
He did Max dirty.
I'm still ready to say something. If I ever, I ain't even gonna trip if I see you.
Max ain't even on ESPN no more.
Dude, that's crazy work, man. Crazy work. Because he was cooking them on the. You know what? We're not getting into that, man. But I'm gonna just say, man, hey, during that era, hey, what T.O. say?
For real, he was mad.
yeah, and he said, hey, and I know it touched him, but look, it did the same thing with JJ, man. Like you're hateful LeBron because he won't. You better go kiss the ring. You did all that. Dancing with Skip all them years, not sticking up for LeBron and everything. Why would he mess with you? And I know he done said a couple of negative things, or sorry, not sarcastic, but just passive aggressive things about JJ Redick being the coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he be a good coach? Anybody that said JJ Redick wasn't going to be a good coach, why wouldn't JJ Redick be a good coach? 4 years under Coach K, He literally scored off actions, plays his entire career. Dude plays 0 ISO ball.
0.
Of course he's gonna be good at running plays, man. And y'all think y'all try to blame everything on LeBron, man, and Darvin Ham. Did y'all see them timeouts last year? But he was saying this dude, this dude,
Salute.
hey, man, Darvin, hey, yeah, salute. Man, come on, dude. This is just two great minds playing basketball. I think this is the first time since like Spo and really just Spo, man.
Yeah.
that LeBron has had a good coach, man, or a coach that he's been like the same, has had the same like mental capacity
Ty Lue.
basketball wise. Ty Lue as well. Yeah. Forgot about Ty Lue. I was thinking of David Black, but they both kind of light skinned, so I was kind of getting confused. But yeah, man, the Lakers look good. They finally doing. JJ Redick comes in, and I know AD's been in and out the lineup, but man, what did we say when LeBron went here? When AD came, like, hey, he's second now. He has to be second. It never happened. It was making all of us angry. Like, why has LeBron still having to be the number one option? And AD should be the
equipment required for free installation.
It's just now we're finally seeing it start to come together, man. Like LeBron's taking a little bit of a backseat. He's scoring like 24, 23 points per game now. It started kind of last year, really, but AD should be their number one option, they MVP candidate, and it's just plays, man. Like these dudes are running actions, moving the ball. The ball is moving 3-4 times every possession, most possessions. And that's what basketball is supposed to be about. And it looks good, man. Shout out JJ Redick. Dude literally got a job off just, talking basketball and actually talking good basketball too.
Yeah.
Not this narrative driven stuff, that ESPN likes to rely on. It's entertainment. Entertainment Sports Network, whatever it stands for. I don't know. But it's exactly what it is. And JJ Redick seems like he's gotten AD to get back in his bag. Dude's dropping 30, seems like every night, off night occasionally, but he looks like the number one option.
Averaging 31.
We thought he was. Y'all don't understand. Like, y'all forget we thought AD was finna be. We thought Anthony Davis was gonna be the one, man. Like, especially that year with DeMarcus and.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Boogie don't get hurt in 2016, bro. That's a dangerous team,
man. And shout out Boogie Cousins, man. Yeah, gone too soon. I know he's alive. Man. He's alive. I ain't talking like that.
He's talking about his NBA career.
Yeah, he's just not playing.
Easily one of the best skilled big man in the last decade. Easily.
I'm talking, man. Like, come on, man. And he was a dog. I'm always pull up that picture of Cat trying to back down DeMarcus
being scared.
That embodies the both of them like perfectly. Like, but yeah, man. I'm just really happy for the Lakers and LeBron right now because you can finally see what this team should look like what a LeBron-led team should look like when he has a coach that's like not trying to. It's just not. I ain't gonna call the man an idiot, but I pretty much just did.
Just not good at coaching.
Yeah,
straight up. Like, Darvin Ham is mid.
I'm still taking them, man. Like this, I'm right now. The way it's looking, Chet. If OKC gets Chet back and he's what he showed us early this season, they're gonna be a front runner. But I like the Lakers, man, and Phoenix. I really do. I like the Lakers and Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns are playing really good basketball too.
KD got to get healthy. They don't lost like 4 in a row or 3 in a row now that. KD ain't been playing, but still, yeah, I like the Suns too, though. I think the Suns are actually gonna be good.
They still almost beat the Timberwolves last night.
Yeah, they did. So. They did. So I like the Suns too, man. Like I said, that Tyus Jones is big, man. Nobody talks about stuff like that, but getting a guy that does not turn the ball over and can get guys open and is not gonna take a shot unless it's just an open shot, just a pure point guard. We get so enamored with seeing the Ja Morants and the Russell Westbrooks back when he was doing what he was doing and these scoring point guards that we forget how valuable just having a pure point guard is on the team. And Tyus Jones is that in every sense of the word. So,
see, man, you got to put these clips out, bro, because it's 100% correct. This man Jalen was like, "No, the Suns are gonna be way better this year because they got a point guard." He was like, "It's the only time I heard that on the airwaves." But if we get these clips out, you know what I'm saying, can pull these receipts up when these things come to fruition. So yeah, man, shout out to the host, man.
No, for sure. Appreciate that. But yeah, that Tyus Jones pick was gonna be big for them. My Rockets looking good right now. We're sitting at 10-4. Finally using his athleticism. I just feel like we're just a piece away, man. I love Jalen Green and what he can do, but he's just too inconsistent, man. He's inconsistent. It's hard to trust a dude that becomes somebody's ninth baby daddy, man. I mean, it's tough to trust a guy that makes decision making like that. And you're young at 20 with $200-something million, bro. Now, come on, man.
Hey, I don't I don't comment on other man's decision too many, man, but that's a poor decision. So, like, you might not feel it now, but I promise you, it's gonna be a problem later.
Like, bro, you backdooring Orlando Scandrick, bro. You're 20 years old in Houston. You're in Houston, Texas. Like, come on, man. We don't got to speak too much
Orlando.
on it. But yeah, that was just the latest.
Orlando.
That's just the latest.
Come on, man.
Go. Everybody go and watch Gilbert Arenas' podcast when that news first came out. They'll give you the better inside scoop than what I could give you on that. But, the Rockets, they're playing good basketball. And Golden State just super surprising with their 10-2 start with how they've looked, because I thought they were going to take a step back, man. But I should have known better because of what the Olympics does to every player. They all come back out and play like dogs every single year after the Olympics. And Steph, even at 35, 36, however old he is, still playing like that dog, man, and still one out there to go and get wins. But I'm right with you, man. The Lakers, if they're healthy and they can trade, I keep saying this, they need to trade for a 3-and-D short shooting guard. Dalton Connect is good, but I liked him off the bench because when we get in the playoffs, I don't want to see Dalton Connect having to guard Ja. That's going to be nasty. I don't want to see Dalton Connect having to guard Devin Booker. I don't want to see that. So they need a 3-and-D shooting guard. They try to make Cam Reddish that, but Cam Reddish is way too inconsistent as a shooter. He is a good defender, way too inconsistent as a shooter. Trade D'Angelo Russell, like I've been saying they need to do for 2 years. D'Angelo Russell serves no purpose to this team. Trade him. Austin Reeves is clearly better than him at basketball. Clearly better than him at basketball. After watching, go ahead.
I don't think a player makes me like pissing me off more than D'Angelo Russell, man. Like, dude, box out. Why do you constantly do stupid stuff like that, man? Like, he always does stuff. It's just like, bro, would you play basketball, please? Like, you're on the court. Why are you not boxing out, man? Everybody else, four other players is boxed out, man, but you. And you know, JJ Redick, that's why I like JJ Redick, really, because he done got in LeBron's face. He benched D'Angelo Russell when he was tripping, you know. So I respect that. Still benched, yeah. I respect that, man. Get these dudes off the court. This is the NBA. Everybody in this mug can play, really, honestly. Once you get to them role players, like, they really not doing nothing. All you gotta do is do your job, and you can stay on the court. You're not as long, you know. We're not talking about. I'm talking about the role guys. You know, so D'Angelo Russell, he don't want to box out. He don't want to do the little things. Yeah, sit down, bro. Sit down. This is why. Look, man, I'm not even gonna get into Nick Young and all that, but you know, but this
the snitch,
that type of stuff, yeah, that type of stuff. That's somebody that don't care, right? They don't think all the way through. Their thought process is slow and it's not thorough, and that's why he got Nick Young in trouble because he don't think.
No, shout out to JJ again, man. Like you said, he benched D'Lo. He did what Darvin Ham should have did. I mean, he done a lot of stuff that Darvin Ham should have did. But you got a bench dude, man. You're not contributing. You're playing terrible defense. And when you're not hitting shots like we've seen in the playoffs, you're really honestly just an ineffective player. You're not doing anything to affect the game of basketball. So they got to trade him. I don't know who wants him, but there's plenty of dumb teams in the league. You can get a 3-and-D guy for D'Angelo Russell somewhere. I don't know who. Somebody want D'Angelo Russell. Trade him to the Bulls.
Go get Mikal. I say go get Mikal Bridges, man. That's athleticism.
Oh man, they not giving. They just traded for Bridges, man. They not giving Bridges up. They just the Knicks just got him there, and he with his Villanova homeboy.
Did I say Mikal Bridges? Who am I trying to think of, man?
I don't know. On the Hornets.
What's the dude's name?
Oh, you talking about Miles Bridges?
Miles Bridges, yeah.
I think not that Miles Bridges wouldn't be good, but I think they need a defender though on their team in that starting lineup. I think they need somebody that can play consistent defense night in and night out. Because Bron is 68. He's not going to play defense every other night. Austin Reeves is only going to do so much on defense. If you just get one See, these teams with J.J. Redick, with them running all these actions, I look at them kind of like the Spurs in their older years now, because you can anchor the defense with Anthony Davis, and it ain't like the Spurs just had a bunch of defensive stoppers out there, but they had one of the best defenses because they play smart basketball. Tim Duncan was anchoring the defense, and they got one guy on the perimeter defense that can just be in somebody's face, even if they ain't the best ever. Bruce Bowen, Danny Green, guys like that, they can just consistently go out there and play defense because you know Ginobili ain't guarding anybody. You know Tony Parker ain't guarding anybody. But you can anchor the defense, and you got one perimeter defender out there. I think that's what they need. I don't know who they're going to get, but you gotta get somebody in that role, man. Go get a Nick Batum or somebody strange like that that's just going to run around, stay in people's face, and find somebody on the Raptors. The Raptors are terrible. Find somebody on the Bulls. The Bulls got like 40 point guards. Trade them another one. Get it, because they'll add D'Angelo Russell to that mix too. But Lakers right now looking good. Want to go to one of the teams that are kind of struggling right now, and that's the Dallas Mavericks. Man, they obviously your team went to the NBA Finals last year. One of the front runners to go back or to win the West this year. Starting out 7-7, not looking too good. They got a win last night, so they got back into the win column, and that is good. Won 2 games in a row after beating San Antonio and then beating a good OKC team last night. PJ Washington had 27 in that game, but before that, they were on a 4-game losing streak. Man, you know more than me because you watch more Mavericks ball than I do. What's going on with Dallas and why are they struggling right now?
Luka's fat, bro.
No,
I don't even know what to tell you. But in all seriousness, man, Luka has to lock in on defense, and then we'll win games. Like we're like I think it's 5 possessions. We lost 4 games in a row by like 1 possession. So and then we lost earlier in the season by another possession. But we're like 5 possessions from being like 10-3 right now, or 11. It would be 11-3 now. But we keep just taking, like, Luka took like bad shots in 3 of those games, like 3 games in a row, like he was getting roasted, and it was due. And you know, bro, he's such a child, like mentally, bro, that if he's playing bad, you know, he gonna start, man, now my knee hurt.
Yeah.
And then what else? And then, you know, he just don't want to play defense because he's messing up on the other end. He's just he's immensely offensively talented, bro. Immensely, but he's a kid. He's a kid, and he's like, and I'll tell people this, man, like these European like youth academies, like when you the star since you like 12, it's hard to, like, you know what I'm saying, like not be a baby because you've been babied your whole life. Mbappe, Luka, all these dudes is like stars like at like 12. Early. Ronaldo. It's just European culture, man, and it's gonna be the demise of the Mavericks if he can't adjust. Because, you know, right now it's looking like, man, his prime was his rookie year until last year. Because dude can't even dunk no more, you know? And, like, I'm not joking, bro. He cannot dunk. Like, it's over with. And I don't know if you remember, his rookie year, man, he was doing up and unders and
he was athletic.
Throwing it back, tomahawks and everything. Yeah, that athleticism is gone, which is cool because he can still hoop. But he has to get back in shape. I still say this, man, I don't know, before his injury last year, like around Christmas time, if you go watch the Christmas Day Luka and then go look at the Luka now this year, you can tell that dude was in shape versus now he's just a slob right now, bro. Like, it's bad. And you know, that's why we look so much. We beat OKC better because Luka was. We beat OKC because Luka wasn't on the floor because we play much faster. Everybody can guard outside of him, you know, and it's just easier. And then we got to see Kyrie, man. Like, Kyrie is still. 2016, my favorite players ever became LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. So I'm like that has been solid. I've always been a Kyrie fan, and especially LeBron. But Kyrie and KD are just like the two most gifted basketball players I've ever seen in my life, man. But the Mavericks will be fine. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. We're gonna float around. First of all, we're gonna get above 500, right? Then we'll probably win like 3 or 4 games in a row when we play like some sorry teams. And then Luka's going to start playing more, and he's gonna shed like 5 pounds from just playing consistently. And then we're gonna be okay. And he's gonna start playing. Defense again because he's gonna get called out just like he's happening right now because they cooking him, Jalen. I'm telling you, like the Kyrie stands, bro.
Yeah.
The Kyrie stands do not like Luka, man, and it's bad. Like, you got Luka liking tweets like, "Oh, the stands are always arguing," but me and like Luka's actually liking those tweets that him and Kyrie are like actually like really, really cool, and so everybody should just stop arguing. So I know he's seeing it. I know it's getting to him. So that's all it takes. Luka does this every year. He don't play defense. Everybody start ragging on him, and then he plays defense. And it's like, all right, bro, why didn't you just do that the whole time?
Yeah.
But we'll be fine though. Like this is a new team. Clay, you want to talk about anybody? Clay's the one that's like, bro, you got one job, man. You missing open threes. All right, man. Like, yeah, you I know you lost the game in Golden State, but you had a chance to win it. Honestly, like you had the shot, bro, and you missed. Steph hit his, and then told you should have stayed. That's pretty bad.
He's thinking about that still.
Yeah. And that's dumb. Like I was watching like, oh man. Because at first I thought he was saying, this my stuff. And then somebody slowed it down. He said, you should have stayed. You should stay here. You should have stayed here. But it's mine now.
Dang.
But it's mine now. And
reality
I've always
hits.
been a Steph hater. Always been a Steph hater, man. But these Olympics have got me like just appreciating dude. And even the game last night, I was like, hey man, that's Steph. Like we gotta start putting Steph into these arguments, man, as far as and I wish KD ruined it, bro.
He
I don't
did.
want to get off topic.
He did. No, you good. He did. He ruined it.
Yeah, he ruined it. He ruined LeBron's legacy and Steph Curry's, bro. And Steph Curry's. Because them 2 rings, like they don't count. We don't care about them. We do not care. Y'all have 4 All-Stars, but we'll be okay, man. Kyrie's gonna lead this team while Luka matures again. He does this every year, bro. He matures and then immatures. Like it's the same thing. So Kyrie's gonna rally the team. Same thing happened last year, man. Like this was Kyrie's team. Luka's just the weapon X, like Wolverine or something, man. Like he's not really a part of the team. You don't want to do team stuff, but he come in and just win the game. So it's Kyrie's team. It's gonna be Kyrie's team. Kyrie's the reason Clay's there. And we're gonna rally around them. I need to call Clay, man, because Jaden Hardy was giving those buckets yesterday, like nasty buckets. And I don't want to talk about it. I know he ain't gonna get up before 9 o'clock. So it's too raw, man. So we can't. I'm gonna have to catch.
Nah, he was hooping.
Man.
Hardy was hooping. I ain't gonna lie. When I watched the highlights, I seen some of his buckets. I'm like, okay, this is what Kyrie was talking about. Hardy was going out there getting them some buckets. But yeah, I think the Mavs will be fine. Like you said, they'll win some games. They'll hover around 500 at the end of the month. They got a 5-game stretch. That's when they're gonna get above 500. They got Utah, Portland, Memphis, Washington, and Toronto. Mm-hmm. Then the Clippers twice, and then Portland again. So that's when they'll get above 500 because they'll probably win every single one of those games. They might go on an 8 or 9 game winning streak when they get to that part of their schedule. And to your point about Steph, man, like you said, he gets a lot of respect now out of me. And the thing is with Steph that I try to get people to understand is this ain't the same Steph from 2016. This Steph is way better. Way, way better. And when I used to make my arguments about Steph and how he would shrink in the clutch, which he did, they got to the 2016 finals from Clay, even though they won 73 games. Clay had to drop 40 twice against OKC for them to do that. Steph since 2022 is when I started to put Steph in that upper echelon category. He's been great, but as far as just unstoppable, even his own teammate Draymond said it. He said until everybody got hurt and Steph had to go out there and play by himself, it's the first time Steph became unstoppable. In them early runs, Steph wasn't unstoppable. He was great, but he was very stoppable. We all saw him get locked up by Kevin Love in the last possession of the game in the NBA Finals, Game 7. You got the best matchup you could ever get. You got the most least athletic player in the building in Kevin Love, and you got locked up by Kevin Love. That just is what it is. But since then, Steph has gotten way better. And to your point about KD messing up Steph and LeBron's career, that is facts. He did mess up Steph's legacy by getting them extra rings, but it's not credited as much because KD was making it look too easy. KD also messed up his own career doing that as well. And he messed up LeBron's, like you said, because that 2017 Cleveland team, nobody even talks about it because the Warriors are so good. The Cavs were so good in 2017. They were so good. That's the best basketball Kyrie's ever played in his life. The year after they won the championship and they came back and they added Kyle Korver to that team as well. Man, the Cavs were so good. It's just messed up that they had to play the greatest team ever assembled, unfortunately, in the KD Warriors. But shout out to Bron, man. Shout out to Steph getting out there. And the Mavs, like you said, they'll get back on track and get back to winning. Folks, we only got a few minutes left here on the show today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. Got to talk about the game coming up tonight, the Monday night game, Texans versus Cowboys. Now, when I bought my tickets at the beginning of the year, I definitely thought this matchup would be a lot different than what it's about to be. I thought the Texans were going to come in rolling. I thought the Dallas was going to come in with a good record. They're rolling. It's going to be a battle for Texas, and they're going to duke it out. But this is not the game we're going to see tonight. Obviously, I think everybody's picking the Texans to win this game. I know I am, as most people should. Dak's not playing. We don't know who's playing. I do think it has the potential to be closer in the beginning of the game because they're playing at home, and Micah Parsons got a lot of hate. He'll come out there and get some sacks. He's playing the worst O-line in the league probably in the Houston Texans. So Micah's going to go out there and get active. But the Texans are going to end up winning this game. Texans are a 7-point favorite in this one. I'm just mad that it's not what I thought it was going to be when I bought the tickets at the beginning of the year because I wanted to be able to ruin everybody's day and say, the Cowboys, you thought they were good, and then the Texans beat them. But now it's just going to be kind of like punching your little brother or something, man. It's not the same feeling because Cooper Rush is going to be out there at quarterback. Maybe Trey Lance. Who even knows? Jerry Jones is going to do some type of interview that's going to be hilarious. He's going to say something crazy. We'll get that out of the game. But outside of that, not going to be too many fireworks in this game. Kyra, your thoughts about the Monday night matchup, Texans versus Cowboys, Battle of Texas, I guess you could say.
Yeah, man. I think actually it's gonna be a good game, man. Like I really do. I think it's gonna be something that is one of those games that we really don't have a chance to win, but it's close for some reason.
Like when we played y'all, 2 years ago, and we were
right,
2-14, and the game came down to like a last second drive from Dak. Yeah.
Yep. So exactly like that. But we're not gonna have a chance. We're gonna lose in the end of the day. But I have a hope that I'll at least be entertained. Yeah. So I don't, man. I've been avoiding the Cowboys all week. Man. I got pretty good at knitting. Try some new recipes. It's a good new soul food spot out here on Sundays too, man. Nah, man. Yeah, man. It's gonna be good, man. I as much as I hate on the Texans, man. If it come down to it, I'm always root for the team from the state. So it's good that we both ain't bad, but yeah, it's gonna be ugly, man. I don't even know what to say. I don't think anybody's. CeeDee Lamb might miss, is what it's looking like. Or not looking like right now, but he's still questionable for the game.
Yeah.
And they saying it's a game time decision with that shoulder. Cooper Rush, man, I don't want to watch this, man. This is crazy. I don't want to watch this. Like, come on, man. This dude threw 19 passes, had 58 yards. I don't want to watch that. Rico Dowdle don't got no moves. Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, what am I guess I gotta watch Micah Parsons. That's what I did with the Eagles last week, the little bit that I did watch. I was like, okay, Trayvon got a pick. I could take some solace in that, like that's good. He still got a good record against Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, for real.
Getting all his picks from Jalen. So I don't, it's just bad, man. Like this is not, don't it feel weird? I don't know if you feel the way I feel good when it's because you're not a Cowboys fan. But when the Cowboys are good, the NFL I feel like it's just better.
There's way more to talk about. They got to actually talk on ESPN. They got to actually talk about football now. Instead of just going out and doing a random 60-minute segment on the Cowboys and why they sell the most tickets or whatever random stuff they do. Now they got to actually talk about football, so it ain't even the same.
That's what's needed, man. We gotta lose like 10 years just to get off the Cowboys. What's the name? Media thing, man. I just want everything to go away so we can be like a regular franchise. But yeah, man. Tonight, it's a big one, man. It's the Texas Bowl, I guess if you want to call it. The red. Well, I don't know what you want to call him. There's too many red things out there. Red Fox. I guess. I guess he can't even go Red Fox.
Man, that's already somebody. Rest in peace, Red Fox.
Yeah, that's a legend. Man, look, Cooper Rush is going to rush the ball. He's going to rush the ball, and Michael Parsons is going to tackle the quarterback maybe once. So,
man, he's going to hit him more than once, man. His offensive line is still garbage. That's what's gonna make it. That's what's gonna make it close. And hopefully they just run the ball and Joe Mixon will get 40 carries tonight. Because
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna line up either Tank Dell or Nico Collins on Caitlin Carson, and they're gonna throw it to him every play. Because that's exactly what Jalen Hurts did. Threw to Caitlin Carson every play, and it worked.
We're gonna have to.
Man, I know I said this every time we talk about the Cowboys, but I just want – man, they tried to – I watch 105.3 The Fan. I listen to DallasCowboys.com. They tried to sell us so hard.
They did.
This Caitlin Carson dude was going to be good.
Him and that tackle.
Because he was looking good. And the tackle. Because he was knocking up the receivers. But little do we know, the receivers are USFL players. Like, literally, USFL players. Like, they was in Batman, they was in the Dark Knight Rises on that field. They was actors, man. Because these dudes is terrible. Like, terrible. They're gonna get
Dark Knight
cut. Man, I'm telling you, Brooks, all the Jalens, not them Jalen, but all the Jalens on the Dallas Cowboys, Tolbert, Brooks, I'm gonna throw Cavante in there, man. Hey, y'all not supposed to be up here. Y'all not supposed to be in the league. I'm just saying straight like that. So I hope y'all do get what y'all do today, because y'all need to learn that y'all not in the league. Y'all need to learn that y'all not in the league, man. And I don't want to deal with that no more. Like, but I'm gonna watch though. If we win, I'm definitely gonna say something to you.
Man, it's gonna be one of the worst. That's all I can think about at this point. When it's too lopsided like this, and it's two, man, they have to win. The worst thing that can happen is that I'm actually in attendance at this game, which I'll be there at the game, and they come out there and lose to Cooper Rush. Oh man, I don't even know if I'll be able to watch football it's gonna be tough, bro. That'll be horrible. That's almost like a nightmare if we have to go all the way to Dallas and watch them lose to Cooper Rush. And it ain't even like it's impossible. We're only a 7-point favorite from Vegas for a reason. This offensive line is terrible. They can really just go out there and blitz us the whole game. They get 2 turnovers, they can win the game. It's literally that simple. Nico Collins ain't played in 2 months. We hoping he's going to be good, but we don't know what's going to happen. C.J. Stroud's getting popped every other play. Will Anderson is still out, our best defensive player. So, I mean, I got the Texans winning, but, man, would that just be a nightmare that I wouldn't be able to get over for the rest of the year? I ain't even going to lie. I'm going to the game on Christmas. I don't even know if I'd be able to go to the Christmas game looking right. My wife is mad because they just put out the news Beyonce's performing at halftime of the Christmas game, and she's not going. So she's pretty upset about that. But I don't even know if I'd be at the Christmas game, Texans versus Ravens. That game is going to be on Netflix, I think. So Beyonce's performing at halftime, I guess, of the Texans-Ravens game on Christmas. I'm going with my dad. I know he don't care about Beyonce being out there, so he might be going and getting some popcorn or something while she's even out there performing. And I'm going to be stuck being a cameraman probably, so I can get close-up videos of whatever I seen from Beyonce singing. Yeah. But shout out to the Texans. Shout out Beyonce, man. I'll be out there on Christmas Day. And I'll be at this game tonight, Texans versus Dallas. I'll be out there in attendance at the game, man. And hopefully we do what we're supposed to do, because if not, I might not see me on the show tomorrow, because I don't even know what I'm going to say if I got to come on there. And then Rocky's going to be on tomorrow too. Come on, man. I don't know. I ain't even going to be able to deal with that. I'll have to go incognito for a little bit. But we're out of time today, folks. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today. As always, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Also, download the app Centex Sports 1 on your mobile device. We got more MCC basketball coming up this week. I've had a lot of fun doing MCC's basketball this year so far. Both teams really good. Men and women's got a really, really good team. Make sure you guys tune in for that. They'll be back in action Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you guys are getting ready. Tune in, lock in right here on Centex Sports Network. Getting ready to sign off today is Jalen Gillis. Want to thank Kyrell for coming on here and joining with us today. We will see you guys. We'll be back in action tomorrow, 5 to 7 p.m. We'll wrap up the rest of this Week 11 football week. We'll talk about some more college football and the CFP rankings that are going to come out tomorrow as well. So we'll have plenty to talk about. We will see you guys then. Everybody have a great evening. We'll see you.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all know.
Weekdays 5 to 7.